they said that, something in me woke up where they said it was just.
She wasn't at the memorial, by the way. Candace Owens didn't even go to the funeral. You weren't there. You said you were gonna, listen to Kanye West, who's now apologized to a Jewish rabbi. Are you going to speak on that, Candace Owens? Because you spent the entire day where you could have went and supported Charlie Kirk and his family, his wife and his kids. Something you want to be and you're not. Respecting them and honoring his legacy. No. You said you were going to just spend a day listening to Kanye West. How's that working out for you when he's apologized to a Jewish rabbi again?
It's so strange that everything was about faith, but like Turning Point USA was originally Marx and capitalism. And I remember you and Charlie running around, and I went, yeah, that shifted pretty quickly. And this is where we need to look. And the stuff that I'm learning about Rob McCoy and the fact that people that are supposed to be biblical are telling us not to do that, and it's completely crazy. And Rob McCoy's up here.
He's assuming this stuff and attacking this man with it. And it's something you would never do if Charlie Kirk was still alive. This is how spineless you are, Candace. You would never do this if this man was still alive. You would not. You would not allow it.
Here, trying to, I guess you could say, like, launder the reputation of somebody who spent years in prison for abusing children. What is happening here? Something is not right. And this is only the beginning. I'm going to put this out there because I think a lot of people now need to start paying attention to the Calvary Chapel in whatever regard you're researching, whether it's Justin Bieber, as I just mentioned, whether you're looking into the Courtney Love thing, or whether you are focused on the Britney Spears thing. You need to look here. We need to understand what is happening inside of these churches. And I am definitively not letting go, obviously.
Okay, can you add your church wherever you attend mass? Can you add Catholic churches to that list? I mean, if you're going to go there, go all the way there. Include your own church in that. What's the church in Tennessee?
Of this TPUSA faith infiltration, which is what it looks like to me. We're going to take a brief break and we're going to come back and speak about the notorious Bush that we left off last holidays, with everything being so. Go back to something that was very strange when people.
Yeah, can you
for you guys to understand that. The next day, it always does get better, guys. It gets better.
Here's the other thing: is giving up should never be an option. And also surround yourself with people like Candace that whatever you're doing that can relate. And
dude,
that
if you only knew.
When you say something that they're going to tell you, the truth, and they're going to be honest, but they'll also have your back. And I understand this might sound cliche, but it's so hard to find that.
Right.
It's so hard to find that kind of loyalty. That the kind of the old expression is, when you're in a foxhole, you want someone who is not going to tell you that there's no.
Dude, if you only knew.
Pretending that they were his friends and his.
She's attacking your whole company, your wife. She doesn't care about your kids having any level of protection. She thinks that gag order refers to her. She's attacking Turning Point USA, your pastor. I mean, she's just dismantling. She's trying to dismantle it, So if Charlie Kirk does visit you, Candace Owens, since you don't mind unfamiliar spirits, let's say Charlie Kirk's spirit comes out somehow come to you in a vision, he's gonna whoop your ass. And I want you to know that. Okay, he's gonna go off on you for trying to throw his pastor out here with all these dumb accusations for no reason. Charlie Kirk would not visit you in a vision and walk away without giving you a piece of his mind and telling you off about you attacking his pastor, his wife, and his company. You're hitting all three angles here: the faith, the family, and the company. You're attacking all three angles: faith, family, finances, the company. You're hitting them all. You really think Charlie Kirk would visit you in a vision or a dream and tell you anything at this point, Candace? Are you crazy? I mean, you can be, but don't expect everyone else to believe that nonsense. He wouldn't visit you unless he's coming to you to cuss you out. He gonna go off on you. He would beat our ass. That's it.
I just will never forgive them for that. That is insane. What we're saying there is important. Loyalty.
You can't make this up.
Is hard. And I was amazed watching that ending, the way he describes a person behind him walking away, almost wild considering Mikey McCoy, the amazing Mikey McCoy, the not so amazing Mikey McCoy. And then he says this, he points over to the left there. And I'm now thinking, well, if he was right about what was happening behind him, what if there was something going on the left now that I'm thinking about, or what I brought up to you, which was that Bush. I have in the back of my mind been wondering about this Bush. I have questions about this. and pointing to the fact that when the shooting happens, there's suddenly people on the side that are directing you, saying, go, 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 almost like they're actually maybe kind of protecting the bush. That might not be the circumstance, but we're going to show that clip anyway of a guy that does actually, as we look, seem to be directing traffic away from the bush. Take a look at this.
I don't know who's been shot.
You can see right there on the side. You got people on the side there, standing, pointing away.
No, he's not pointing away from the bush. He's pointing towards where they need to go. What are you talking about? Candace, we can see overhead the bush, girl. This helpful right here. Y'all, we can see the bush.
Bush, that might not be the circumstance, but we're going to show that clip anyway of a guy that does actually, as we look, seem to be directing traffic away from the bush.
You can't make this up.
I don't know who's been shot.
Y'all, we can see over into the bushes. We can see down in the bushes. Do you not think, Candace, that cameraman could not just post that video up and zoom in on these bushes here? You think somebody is hiding in? It would also have a shadow down there. We would see a shadow of someone standing in the bush. You know, boy, the bush is just a burning right now. You can't make this up. Y'all remember in the Bible when God appeared to Moses in a bush and it came down with such a mighty fire where the bush was on fire but not consumed? That's this bush right here. This is it. This is the bush. What is Candace talking about? Girl, we can see if someone is hiding in this bush. He is not directing people away from the bush. He is directing people towards a focal point for them to exit. Don't you think it would be a row of people? Let me ask you all this. Let's just go on logic, okay? Let's focus on the burning bush that, Moses saw, all right? The Moses bush. Let's go on that. Wouldn't you think that there would be a line of people standing in front of this bush, more than just one person? I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. The burning bush, y'all. If nothing else, boy, Candace, your lunacy is entertainment. It's just pure entertainment at this point. This girl has lost her mind where she thinks this bush, the burning bush that Moses talked to God through, somehow it's being guarded by one person who's not even standing in front of the entire bush. That, Candace, we can see through the daggone bush, girl. We see through the burning bush. The bush is on fire, but it's not consumed. Y'all get delirious. You can't make this stuff up. The bush is on fire, but it's not consumed because in the Bible, God didn't allow the bush to be consumed by the fire and everything when he was talking to Moses and all. Because Moses had to be out in the wilderness alone because it was the only way God could talk to him in front of this burning bush. The bush was on fire. But I can't believe it. How could God not allow the bush to be consumed? How does fire consume a bush? And not actually, it's on fire, but the bush didn't burn, people. Did y'all know that? The bush didn't burn. That's my Candace impression. I think it's getting better. Oh, dear Lord. What do you mean? Candace, I'm going to clown you on this burning bush all week. You have no idea. I'm going to clown the mess out of Candace about the burning bush. Because Moses had to talk to the same bush and there were no guards around it. No one was directing traffic away from the burning bush. When God appeared to the bush and talked to Moses, he wasn't fanning people away from the bush. He just stood there and had a conversation with it. Why wasn't this guy doing the same thing? Candace, you're an idiot. Okay. You can't make this up. Y'all, the burning bush. Listen here. George, come get your wife, bro. Please tell Candace to make you a sandwich. This heifer right here, it just, who child Candace? Candace's Bush, the sequel. Where's Limitless at? Is this your leader? Limitless. Is this your leader? Is this your leader? I gotta work on my British accent. Limitless. Come on, man. Is this your leader? Ask the host of this live. She's clearly getting paid to spread these ridiculous stories about Candace. I'm just really reacting to this. Limitless. Is this your leader? She's talking about this Bush. Limitless. Let me ask you this. Because you know, you follow Candace and you worship the ground she walks on. So let's go with that. Okay. So what to say? The Bush that had yeast infections. Listen, Limitless. Limitless. Here's a question for your leader. Listen to me. Wouldn't there be a row of people standing in front of this bush if it were important? If there was something nefarious or suspicious? Do you see how long this bush extends along this handrail here from this vantage? Wouldn't you have other people standing in front of it? You see people running. Look
Right
at
there
this.
on the side.
One person is guarding this entire bush. Limitless. Is this your leader? Is Candace Owens your leader? You know, because she claims to be so smart. In her infinite wisdom, why would she only point out one person in front of this entire bush? Isn't this the whole bush right here? Limitless. Can you please answer my question? Why wouldn't there be more people standing in front of the bush? Limitless. You hit Limitless. Oh Lord. Someone wants you to hire him to go play. All right, he'll answer later on. He or she, Limitless, answer me later. He'll be mad. You had your people hide. I had nobody hide you. They hit you. Limitless, when you are able to respond, please answer. Why would your dear cult leader not point out anyone else in front of the burning bush that Moses talked to when he talked to God thousands of years ago? Let's pretend we're on the mountain. Why would more people not be standing in front of this bush? How is this one person right here, Limit, supposed to guard this entire bush on the side of it and not in front of it, maybe? Why is this one area of this bush somehow important to Candace when we can see down to the ground? Can y'all see that right next to it? Y'all see my green arrow? If you look right next to it, you can see down to the ground. I can see through the bush. So who's going to hide in this? Who's going to hide in the burning bush? Candace, you heifer. Because you can see down to the pavement. Why would the one person guarding the bush be standing on the side? Why would he not have at least 4 or 5 others standing in front of it, doing the same thing he's doing, telling people to run towards this exit that's out this way? Why aren't there more people guarding the burning bush? You know, Moses stood in front of this bush as the essence of God came down in a fire and it was not consumed. Y'all, ain't God good? Look at this bush still standing thousands of years later. You can't make this up.
You got people on the side there, standing, pointing away. Okay.
Yeah, because it's one person.
Yeah, there's someone in there like texting in a blue shirt. Now, that could be because there's a shooting and that's a safe spot to be in and somebody can't see you. Maybe that's...
Oh, dear Lord, why is that not the assumption, Candace? Why is that not the first thing you assume? Why is the first thing you assume is something nefarious with the burning bush? Because we can see down through the bush.
Away. Okay.
Look at that. Why wouldn't he stand in front of the front part of the bush or have more people alongside it? Candace, your theories are so stupid. They're so stupid. They lack logic. There's no thought behind this. You're trying to come up just like with the communistic bees, the underground pipes. You know, people are going to look at this bush and be like, there's nothing here. We don't see anyone in it. And guess what? To Limitless and the rest of the candy asses, there's security cameras recording this bush. So you can get security camera footage to see if anyone hopped in or out of the bush. Yeah. Did you know that? UVU also has drones. Did y'all know that? To the candy asses. Did y'all know UVU has drones? I actually played a video clip of it. UVU has drones. So if you want to know what happened before, during, and after Charlie Kirk was shot, there's security cameras that covers this bush that recorded everything that happened around this burning bush. So you'll be able to see if someone jumped in or out of the bush, Candace. You cannot be this dumb, girl. Security camera footage would show that. Well, after the incident occurred, well, after the shooting, well, after people left, the security cameras are still rolling. You see, that's how you solve that problem. See, if Candace had asked this to herself in her head, had asked this question of herself, I wonder, did anyone jump in or out the bush? Out the burning bush? Did anyone jump in or out of it? Security camera footage would show that. It runs continuously. So there's no reason to sit here and to try to theorize this dumb nonsense, because security camera footage that runs continuously 24/7 will be able to record when someone came in and out of this bush. You can't make this up. Candace, wherever your mind has gone to, whatever alternate reality you've veered off to, can you please take Limitless with you?
Yeah, there's someone in there like texting in a blue shirt. Now, that could be because there's a shooting and that's a safe spot to be in and somebody can't see you. Maybe that's why you're doing that. Doesn't mean anything, but I'm just pointing that out because we have to gather evidence that we're never going to get from the feds.
Limitless.
The second thing that I want to show you is what I just described, which is the clip of the person that I'm looking for who doesn't duck and...
Limitless answer. Okay. They are literally hiding everything from the public. Why would they release the footage when they're covering everything up? Do you understand that type of security camera footage just recording something with the burning bush would not be material evidence in this case? Do you understand that? I understand you and Candace don't understand how evidence works. That wouldn't be evidence that would not be released. It's a video footage, surveillance footage of the bush. Yeah. How about all the people recording around it? Why don't you all watch the thousands of videos that are posted up from the people who are there recording to see if someone jumped in and out of the bush? Video evidence would show that, and that is available to the public, Limitless. You understand that there are videos out here that are available to the public, posted up on YouTube, that would show the bush itself. And if someone got in or out the bush, you got to think, Limitless. I'm trying to help you out. It's not a video of a suspect. The burning bush is not a suspect or possible accomplice. We're talking about footage of bushes. A bush. You understand what a bush is, Limitless? I need you to Google that right quick if you don't. It's like recording a tree or a flower or some grass. Do you understand? That is not a suspect or a possible accomplice. No, sir. That is, ma'am, nope. That is absolutely false. You see why your nonsense doesn't work over here? Reread, go. You never said anything about the public just now. You said UVU. I said UVU has security surveillance camera footages recording continuously. Don't you think it would be recording? There's a camera right above that deck. How do I know that? Because I'm good at what I do. I'm the queen of this. Candace is not. She's bad at this. There's a camera right above that deck. There are also videos of people recording that were live streaming around the bush. Maybe you all should take a look at some of these public videos that are posted up that was recording around this area. And then, these questions of life that you have, that Candace has, would be answered. Because guess what? Guess what, Limitless? Do you understand that this is a public video she's showing? This is not something that was used. This is not evidence video. This is not some video that's kept from the public. This is an actual video of someone recording at the time. Don't you think if you watch their entire video or other video footages of people recording, you will see someone jump in and out this bush? How do you think you're seeing this information right now? This is a public video. This wouldn't be some top secret accomplice nonsense. There's no suspect or accomplice in the bush. The bush itself is an inanimate object. You know, God would have to come down like fire, like he did with Moses, to bring it to life. Otherwise, it's a bush. It's not an accomplice. It's not a suspect. It's a bush. The video she's playing is available to the public. Why wouldn't you all watch what happens before and after it to see if someone jumped in it? Because you just can't make this stuff up. Limitless. Go ask your leader. Why is it that this video you're watching right now, this is a video. This is released to the public. What are you talking about? This is not an interview. You don't need an interview on this. You just need to watch the video. Limitless, you cannot be, you cannot be this lost in space. Are you out there with Candace? What planet are you two sitting on right now? They are mentally checked out. You don't need to interview anyone to watch this damn video she's showing. This is a public video posted on social media. Who do you need to interview to get this released where you're already watching it? No one needs to do an interview to see if someone jumped in and out the bush. No, I don't. No, you don't know who's being interviewed by the actual prosecutor or the defense. We're talking about the bush. Stick to subject. Okay? Stick to the subject. The bush. Why didn't you just watch the daggone video to see if someone jumped in it? We're on the bush. You don't know who's being interviewed. But Candace is not getting that call log either. How about that? Why didn't you watch the video of the bush? Answer my question with that. The bush. You want to see him talk about a liberal. They have nothing. Limitless is lost. They refuse to have just a simple conversation. I asked a simple question. This is a public video. There's no one to interview. There's no reason to interview. The bush is not an accomplice. It's not a suspect. Why didn't you just simply watch the video to see if someone jumped in the bush or jumped out of it? Why would there not be more people guarding the bush from the front? Why is this one person the only person she's circling and highlighting?
Standing, pointing away.
Why is this the only person?
Yeah, there's someone in there like texting in a blue shirt. No, that could be because there's a shooting and that's a safe spot to be.
Yeah. Okay, so why would that be the only part of the bush that she would highlight? Wouldn't there be a line of people covering the bush itself? Limitless. You can call me whatever you want. That doesn't work over here, girl or boy, whatever you are. That don't work over here. Why would there not be more people just standing in front of the bush if it was something suspicious about it? You think that don't hurt my feelings about calling me a liberal? Chapu. They say I get paid. I'm a liberal. I'm a conservative. I've been called all kinds of things. None of that works over here. Why would there not be more people standing in front of the bush? That stuff don't work over here. You kidding me? The burning bush.
And somebody can't see you. Maybe that's why you're doing that. Doesn't mean anything, but I'm just pointing that out because we have to gather evidence that we're never going to get from the feds. The second thing that I want to show you is what I just described, which is the clip of the person that I'm looking for who doesn't duck and calmly walks away. This is that individual. This is the front angle. You see that circle right there. You keep playing that. I've watched from other angles. Never goes down. Goes.
Yet another person she's doxing because people like Limitless is going to try to find these people and cyberbully and dox them. Limitless. Who's that person? Look, did anyone jump in the bush? Oh, you see the bush? Here's more of the bush. Limitless. Here's more of the bush. This is a video that's available to the public. Did you see anyone jump in the bush? Did anybody see anybody jump in the bush? Because that's where we're on right now. Did anyone see anybody jumping in that bush? That lady
who
didn't
doesn't duck and calmly walks away. This is that.
Meanwhile, Candace was not here at all because she didn't care. So
individual. This is the front angle. You see that circle right there. You keep playing that. I've watched from other angles. Never goes down.
But she never saw anybody get in the bush.
Walks out of the bush. And I know that the police were looking for someone in a maroon shirt immediately after because somebody shared text messages with me that I've not publicized because I didn't want to. I just felt that it would go back to that source. Now,
wait, what? You wouldn't publicize those texts, Candace. You're bad at this, girl. You are bad at this. When I say I have a source that sent me information, I corroborate it by something that is available to the public that can be used as corroborating evidence. Candace, I'm going to need you to Google corroborate. You and Limitless, y'all both can look up the definition of that word. You can't make this up.
Never goes down.
You mean she never goes down?
Walks out of the bush. And I know that the police were looking for someone.
She need to go down. She go into the bush to hide. What is the deal with this bush?
In a maroon shirt immediately after because somebody shared text messages with me that I've not publicized because I didn't want to. I just felt that it would go back to that source. Now, this individual I was able to discern was in a photo with somebody else who's caught my attention. Of course, the media began playing. They had all of these clips of what happened. And there was one individual who was Indian who they got a lot of the footage from that day from. And what's interesting about this guy, Samir, is very public. He's been covering everything. He was not a Charlie Kirk fan. He somehow has a lot of footage and somehow immediately gave this footage to the media. I reached out to him privately and I asked to have a conversation, asked to send his number, despite speaking with the media for weeks, giving them all of this footage. And despite oddly being allowed to interview Astrid Tumenez, I think a lot of people have done videos on Astrid Tumenez, the strange background story of Astrid Tumenez, the president of UVU. He didn't want to send me his number. I wanted to ask him basic questions.
No, because you dox people, Candace. That is a cyber crime. Limitless, just in case you didn't know, doxing is illegal. It's illegal. She went into the bush, Limitless. What go down where? She got out of sight. God. So everybody's supposed to go down? That's unusual? No, it's not. No, it's not. Because Candace said herself, sometimes people go down, sometimes people run, sometimes people run towards a friend. No, it's not. It's not suspicious. You're trying to control how someone reacts seeing someone get shot. You're trying to control someone else's fight or flight response. I know it's complex. That might be a complex concept for you, but you're literally trying to dictate someone else's fight or flight response. That's not how that works. You don't get to dictate that. You nor Candace or none of the other candy asses. You all don't dictate fight or flight response. It's a natural response of what happens when something like this happens and it jars up all of your estrogen, all your hormones, all of that stuff it kicks in. Not everyone has the same fight or flight response. You don't get to dictate that. Just because you don't think this person should have gone down does not make it suspicious. It's not what happened with their fight or flight response because everyone is different. Candace, if you're going to come in my chat, can you come in here in your real name? I'm starting to believe Candace is limitless. I have the right to assume that since she assumes everything else. So we're just going to assume Candace is limitless. Candace, if you're going to come in my chat, be bold enough to come in here in your real name. Why are you harping on the bush? You finding it weird someone is waving their hand in front of it. And then you show another video clip of people jumping in the bush for refuge. And then you want to sit here and make an issue of fight or flight response like you get to control that. You don't freeze. If you do freeze, if you run, if you get down on the ground, you jump in the bush. They're finding everything to be some suspicious activity because everyone is responding differently. Somebody ran off. Oh, that's suspicious. Someone stood still and froze. Oh, that's suspicious. No, that's part of fight or flight. Fight or flight could include freezing temporarily. Your brain is trying to comprehend what's going on. That is a part of it. You can look it up. Candace, Just Google fight or flight response, girl. Because I'm just going to assume you're limitless. I know you're trying to learn how to do journalism over here, but I'm not here to teach you that. You should prove how you've gotten that degree. Verify that. What does the burning bush have anything to do with anything? What does it have anything to do with it? It has nothing to do with it. People jumped in the bush. People jumped out. People got refuge. Some people ran. Some people got down on the ground. Some people froze. All of those things are part of fight or flight response. It's not weird. It is what it is. She's literally sitting here pointing and circling people out of a crowd. And you're sending your brainless followers after these people in my chat, doxing folks, cyber harassing people. For what? For what? Because people won't react the same way you do. Are you kidding? It's so ridiculous. Oh, no. We just got them all coming in here. Oh, so New Year. Oh, okay, thank you. She's not number one in the podcast in the world. You can Google that. You guys don't read. I don't expect you to. I'm shocked that you were able to copy and paste this long comment to me when you don't read. Yeah, what's going on back? I'm so late. You didn't miss anything. It's just exactly. Candy leads her horses to water. The question is, when will the stupid horses work out? The pond has no water. Exactly. And then they hop in and hop out, leaving these copying and pasting these same comments because they copy and paste the comments. I don't know if you all noticed that. They copy and paste the same comments. She's number one podcast in the world. I literally debunked that with a Google search. She's not. You cannot make this stuff up. That's why nothing bothers me when it comes to what Limitless, aka Candace, is saying, because I've heard it all before. That shit don't work over here. It doesn't work. She is not one podcast in the world. I know, right? We've researched that information. You can't make this stuff up. I just, at the end of the day, you know, oh God, this stuff is being debunked left and right. Debunked left and right. And she still won't sit here and help. Like, why point out these people like this, knowing what you're subjecting them to? She's mad because yet another person won't give her an interview. They don't owe you that, Candace. Limitless, whatever. They don't owe you that. They don't owe you an interview. They owe you nothing, girl. Just like you're not getting that call log.
One of the questions I wanted to ask him was, hey, you are in a photo with this person in the maroon shirt from that day. He posted a photo with him and the guy in the maroon shirt. And he makes it clear that they both went to BYU. His friend, I would like to know who Samir's friend is on the left. That's what I'm looking for. You might recognize this individual. If you do.
No one deserves to be doxxed like this. Now you're going to be dragging him all over the internet. Candace, what you're doing is cyber harassment. No, he doesn't have to speak with you. You don't have to know who they are. You're not an investigator. You're not even a journalist. And whatever you think you're doing with this reporting, you're bad at it. You're just a gossiper. No one owes you anything. Why can't these kids be in peace? If I were their parents, I would sue the crap out of you. You're trying to dox this kid. Do you understand what you're asking for, Candace? You're asking for someone to send you his information. That requires doxing. That requires looking him up. What if he doesn't want to be found? Leave him alone. Leave these kids alone. These are college kids. Leave them alone.
And again, we are not saying he's guilty of anything, but he might know there was some activity in that bush. Please email moretips@CandaceOwens.com. Moretips@CandaceOwens.com.
This is so stupid.
Okay.
You about to
moving
put
on from the
someone
person
else
in
out
the
here.
maroon shirts, but sticking on to this topic of
That's called cyber. It's a cyber crime. It's doxing. Candace is all too familiar with that because she has a history of doxing. and her dumbass cult followers don't care about laws because bots. We're just calling it like it is.
The Bush. People also sent me a ton of information about Butch Hibbs, Jack Hibbs' brother, who was here, and he maybe might have been speaking to that bush. I don't know, but he wasn't the only person, by the way, who was in that bush before the event. Here's another photo that was sent to us of a guy. I don't know. Maybe he's comfortable in his bush. Who knows? Another guy in a maroon shirt. I never knew so many men loved maroon shirts. I never even knew that. But we have another guy in there again.
What the hell? People just being ID'd all over the place. And it's like, why? They who knew? They went to an event and you're trying to ID them like that. You got college kids being ID'd, you putting all these people out here for what? And they're not gonna speak with you because look how you're handling this, Candace. This is cyber harassment at its finest hour. Oh, she needs to be investigated.
And he literally might just be sending a private text. I don't know, but people sent us that, and that's interesting. And on the topic of Butch Hibbs, we got a flurry of videos of him after the shooting takes place. He's kind of just like crawling the area. He's up and around where the shooting happened. With what clearance, I don't know. You would think that they had secured the area and nobody would be allowed to go in. They certainly seem to have.
She doesn't know how clearances work either. Yeah, because she doesn't know how clearances work, along with investigations or evidence or the definitions of these words. She actually thinks that these people have to be identified and for reasons. This is unbelievable. It's like she's never seen an event where just some level of tragedy has occurred to see how people react in the midst of that event. Oh, look, this person is weird. That person is weird. This person is waving their hands. That's weird. This person didn't get down on the ground. That's weird. This person is standing in the bush. That's weird. This kid is wearing a green hoodie. That's weird. This kid is taking a photo with someone. That's weird. You're just IDing people all over the place here. This is ridiculous. And for what? For what? For someone who's still not an investigator. Candace, you're going to get sued. And you would deserve it. You and the candy ass followers, because they act as if they can just hide behind YouTube channels.